Hello, my loves, and welcome back to Along This Spiritual Journey. So, something that's kind of had me in a little loop. Sometimes I think about stuff and I'm like, does that make sense? Does it? And so, I was thinking about how love and trust are not necessarily a package deal. Like, a lot of people think that trust and love have to go hand in hand. And I go back and forth in many different ways because, of course, there's people where you love them, but unfortunately, you can't trust them. And it doesn't mean that distrust doesn't automatically mean that someone's doing something negative towards you or even towards others necessarily. Like, for example, there's someone who you love and adore, but they can't hold a secret. They're not doing it to be maliceful. They're just excited or they overshare. And sometimes you're like, can you just keep something to yourself, please? And again, in that moment, you love them, but you don't have to trust them because they can't hold anything, but you can trust them with other things. And so that's when I started to realize, like, you can kind of put trust and love into many different parts of people. I know it's hard for some people to understand where they're like, how do you see value in them? And I'm like, I see value in everyone. I don't think anyone doesn't have value as far as their own identity and who they are, but also as someone that I would want to have in my life and like interact with. And so, I mean, even in the same essence of like, you think of a team, if you're working on a team, you have to trust them. It doesn't necessarily mean you love everyone on your team, but you have to trust them in that moment that the skills and assets they have and bring to the table will help you utilize whatever that is to get to your end goal. And so something that just fascinates me, again, this is not even like a real, like me saying something with an ending to it. It's kind of just me thinking about it. Like, isn't it interesting? Because I find myself always in that situation where there's a lot of things that I trust more than I love, but there's also a lot of love around me. And it doesn't mean I don't trust it. It just means that I am still learning how to even share myself. It's easy for me to give advice. It's easy for me to listen to others. But when it comes to emotionally being vulnerable, it's like, oh no, baby, these walls have been built for years. I have made some side doors and front doors for a few people, but again, it's a very limited access. So, I don't know if that's a good or bad thing, but it's one of those things that I just like to sit and ponder. And I love that I know I trust myself enough to know that I trust that the love around me is real. How about that? Love you.